Greetings, Judah. DFG here, Gideon's Flight. Hey guys, I hope you had a good day today. Of course, I want to pick back up on a subject we were discussing, or I was sharing yesterday, in regards to the book of Enoch. And hopefully by now you have your cipher, your book. We're going to try our best to refrain from calling it Bible because of the associations the word Bible has with that are not, consistent with terms that Yah would want us to be using. Okay, especially when we know origins of things. So if you know the origin of a thing is wicked, you no longer have any excuse to move forward with it. Like Peter said, he said, you know, to know and not to do is as wicked, you know what I'm saying, as doing it, with all malice. Okay? So when we learn better, Yah is asking and challenging us that we have to say the right words, use the right names, correct ourselves so that our Rahuk is not hindered by the enemy. And why I say that, because, Satan can hinder your prayers, or at least the evil ones can hinder your prayers, depending on who you are, I might add. Again, if you're Esau, Edom, Gog and Magog, those guys, Amorites, go and pray to Buddha and all the rest of your Hindu gods and the rest of them. It's it's trash in, trash out. So I'm not talking to you guys. Go do what y'all do. But for Judah, for Israel, we have to understand that there are demons who will interfere with your messages, or messages coming back to you from Yah, or will never let your message get there because you're using wicked terminology. And as you heard me read yesterday, when the fallen ones, they had to go to Enoch to try to get Enoch, the watchers, to pray for them. Remember that? And Yah told Enoch to go back and tell them, I don't want to hear nothing that you guys have to say. You left your first state. You polluted the women. You corrupted the earth. You taught them how to use weaponry, to kill, make up, to seduce. You've taught them, the murdering, or the taking of innocent blood. We call it abortion. Other abomination, sex with children, sex with animals, sex with the same sex. So Yah, if you don't use the right words when you're going before Yah, don't think that Satan, Azal, or one of those, Samuel, or one of those demons, Samsuz, I think is the other one, many of them, but one of the others. Don't think that they want to disguise themselves, to you as you're hearing from Yah, and your prayers never get to Yah. Okay? So use the right words when you know the right words. Stop saying wicked Jesus. I don't care what any of these devils tell you. Oh, it's all the same. Jesus this in English. That's a damn lie. They were speaking English long before they had J's, and they weren't using no Jesus. The letter J is about 200 years old. You don't think that they were calling on Yeshua prior to 200 years ago? Of course they were. But that's what these wicked devils in their sackcloth, called preachers, priests, imams, and all the rest of these devils. That's what they do to throw you off, to keep you in practicing idolatry, taking the name of the Yah in vain, taking the name of Elohim in vain. That's one of the 10 Commandments, God. Thou shalt not take the name of Elohim in vain. Okay? So I just wanted to say that to you. So we try to stay away from using the word Bible. That's a Hindu word that's tied in with all Hinduism and their goddess and goddess, all 100,000 of them, however many they have. So that's a long explanation for such a short thing to say. Okay, so we use the history book. So hopefully by now you have your history book. If you don't have your history book, you can always go on Amazon or any one of these sites. I'm not promoting Amazon, but invest, save some money, take some of that stimulus money instead of buying, a big screen television or Xbox 5 or whatever. How about taking $95 of that $600 and invest in your lifetime? Let me say that again. How about taking 95 of those dollars and investing in your lifetime and purchase you a history book written for the people, of the people, by the people. All right? Okay. That being said, we're going to pick up back up at chapter 16, okay? And as we go forward, Yah, I've already went before and asked that he would reveal words that I may not already have in my mind, just so that, all credit is given to him, all revelation knowledge is accredited to him. And that as a vessel that I am, as a vessel you'll be, as one watered, another planted, and as we know, Yah gives the increase. Okay? So not gonna be very long tonight. Probably maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes. So, I heard someone talking. A good friend of mine today was talking about how many seconds there were in a minute, and he kind of did a 30-minute breakdown of how many seconds were in 30 minutes, and he was talking about how many seconds were in a day, and just that little bit of those 30 minutes worth of seconds, how people can't even do that, for Yah, and he was right. Amen. Or he was saying for something important, but we're talking about giving up 20 minutes of 60 seconds each minute for Yah. I think you can do that, my brothers and my sisters. Okay? All right. Praise Yah. Okay. I'll read the last verse where I stopped off in chapter 15, and then I'll pick up chapter 16. And they shall cause lamentation, and no food shall they eat, and they shall be thirsty, and they shall be concealed, and they shall rise up against the sons of men, and against women. And again, this is something else that I truly don't always know if our sisters, here on Turtle Island understand the war that they're up against. I know they know the war, the struggles that they have. But I don't think our sisters understand that this is a spiritual warfare that they're dealing with. And sisters, I'm telling you, you might think it's this guy or some messy lady at work or, some bill collector, whoever it might be, nosy neighbor, rebellious daughter, a son. But sisters, you are in a war. And this war is for your soul. And if you don't slow down and get your emotions under control, and the only way that's going to happen, you're going to have to be bathing in the word of Yah as well. I didn't say go to no church. I said you have to sit down, ladies, get the word out, and study for you to show yourself approved, as our Uncle Peter said. And men, I don't have nothing else to say to you if you're not studying. You follow me? Because obviously you're not taking it serious enough. You're looking to be entertained. And you'll find no entertainment here. You'll find rebuke and chastisement here. And maybe get your little sissified feelings hurt. But if you're not serious, I'm going to splatter your ass all up against the wall. At least your emotions, your feelings. But for the men of Judah, you're supposed to be the protectors and the provider. And you're supposed to be the teachers of the word. You are supposed to be the teachers of your families of this word. That is your responsibility, and Yah is going to hold you accountable for it, Judah, if you're not doing it or you haven't done it, and he snatches that spirit out of your body, that empty vessel that you have, he's going to judge you for it. I gave you much, and what did you do with it? Nothing. You were too busy, wasting your time. That you couldn't give those seconds to Yah. But you could give him, the things that easily distract you. And I say that, guys. I'm sorry for this little diatribe here, but I asked Yah to put the word. So if he give me this is what you're going to get. And we still going to get the word. But, when you're looking at, the seconds that it would take, to focus and to dedicate and give yourself over, to studying the word. Yah say that his Rahuk, will open up your mind. And his Rahuk, will teach you so that you can learn. And so that you're not, again, wasting, your fruit, wasting your seed, your spiritual seed. All right? That others need from you through your study. Your family needs from you from your covering. All right? But again, I digress. I'll stop right there with that. But it is a reminder to you sisters, more importantly, You know what I'm saying? The men should already know their role. And sister, let me tell you something. If you're a believer and you got a man and he's not a believer, unless he's your husband, you need to excommunicate his ass. Bye-bye. See you later. Keep it moving. And if it's your husband, you know, pray to Yah, like Abigail said, that he would remove him out of your life. That's what happened to Nabal, wicked ass. Abigail's former husband before David, self-centered, greedy, rebellious, drunkard. Yah took him out of her life and put a man after his own heart in her life, King David. Wow, praise Yah. Okay, let's get on in this. And by the way, just for verification, for some of you guys saying, well, that's the Old Testament or those are books that are not canonized, let me say this to you guys. If you look at 2 Peter, it talks about the angels chained into darkness. I want to say it's 2 Peter, maybe chapter 2, verse 14, somewhere around there. Google it up. It'll get you there, the angels that were chained. And then you go to Jude. So it's twice, line upon line, precepts. In the New Testament, in 2 Peter and in Jude, that tells you the story of Enoch is true. This happened. All right? And even Peter told you be careful to entertain strangers because some have entertained angels unaware. Talking about the transformation. How they take upon a human form from time to time. Okay? All right. Let's go. And they shall be concealed and shall rise up against the sons of men and against women. For they shall come forth during the days of slaughter and destruction. And those days are presently up on us, guys. What you saw in D.C. the other day, guys, that was just the lighting, of the lake of fire. That was just the lighting it up. Because just like those madmen went running through there, these are the same madmen. When they get tired of fighting each other, gonna come run right through our neighborhoods looking for Judah to slaughter, pilferage, kill, rape, maim. And we've told you guys time and time and time again that you need to have a weapon. You should have a sword. And that sword should be near you at all times. Let me show you how near your sword should be. Watch this. How long would that take me? How long was I gone? 3 seconds? Sword. Sword. But anyway, you had better be ready for them, guys, because they're coming. And they're coming for you because they've always been after our seed. All right? They want to destroy us to get back at Yah for this curse that's on them. This whole war against us is about what happened to them. And Enoch breaks it down so well. But think about it. All of this is about you, Judah. And all of the heavenly host knows this. Probably most of the nations of the planet knows this. But unfortunately, you don't. Isaiah said it very well. He said, chapter 1, verse 3, the ox knows its owner, the ass knows its master, but my people, have concealed themselves. They do not know who they are. Or better yet, maybe the fallen ones have concealed the minds of many of our people. But Yah, again, is awakening, a last day awakening. As Daniel said, knowledge being increased. For some. Because he did say 2/3 of us, he called them the wicked, will continue to do wickedly and not understand. So don't think it's strange if your family members blow you off, think this is crazy and you're wasting your time. In the day of reckoning, they'll come back and they're going to be looking for you. For answers, for direction, for support. And they had better pray that you're still there. Because, who knows? Y'all may move us to a safe place till this passes. He said he's going to shorten the day for the elect's sake. That's what Yeshua quoted him as saying. That's what he talked about in chapter 24 in Matthew. He said, except those days be shortened, nobody would be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days would be shortened. Who are the elect? Those of us who love and keep and honor the commandments of Yah to the best of our ability. A consciousness of it. And an act, I might add. You know a tree by the fruit that it bears. And for all you great mothers out there, who are training up your children, your sons, and your beautiful daughters. You know what I'm saying? I would say to you, and as you're studying the word, all praises to you, to the glory of Yah. All right, we don't praise you. Now, we're not making you gods, okay? What we're saying is may Yah continue to bless you and protect you, you know what I'm saying, and place his Rahuk in you, and give you mercy and give you grace, okay? That he put that ring of fire around you to keep the enemy away from you and those that you're caregiving and responsible for to teach, train, and raise as their first teachers. All right? All right. Man, I talked for 15 minutes and still hadn't gotten to the word. But all praises to Yah. I'm sure whatever I've said, it had to have been heard. It was not. None of this is rehearsed, guys. This is studied. But what I shared, okay, you're getting it pure straight. Verse 60, chapter 16, book of Enoch. And as the death of the giants, so they were giants here, and they're still giants here, I might add. They're just not as tall as they used to be. But they're here. He says, as to the death of giants, wheresoever their Rahuk depart from their body, whenever their Rahuk depart from their bodies, let their flesh, that which is perishable, be destroyed before the judgment. Thus shall they perish until the day of the great consummation of the great world. A destruction shall take place of the watchers and the impious. You know what the impious is? You know what the word impious means? The people who doubt and question the Most High. That's impious. I don't believe. These people, the naysayers, I don't believe in, I was talking to a fella recently. Good guy. I think the guy, genuine heart. Believe y'all going to bring him home, hopefully. Not dead, but into the light. And he was talking about how he didn't believe, in the Bible because, the white men wrote the Bible. And I told him, well, how can you say that? So you don't believe in the Bible because white men wrote it, but you believe in all the curriculum that you were educated in through the school system, and which is always written by white men. So you believe in the white man's education system. You rest your intellect on the white man's education system. But somehow, when it comes down to the word of Yah, if the white man had anything to do with it, you see it as corrupt or as a lie. When it's a proven fact, probably 90% of their history, the things you were taught, are lies. Think about that. You're a walking contradiction if you're making that kind of statement. So no, this the word is for us, written by us, for us. You've heard me say that before. It's like food, by black people for black people, right? Or for black people by black people. For us, by us, I think that's how it works, all right? Y'all, whatever. And thus shall they perish into that great consummation of the great world. A destruction shall take place of the watchers and the impious, the naysayers, the doubters, the unbelievers. And now to the watchers who have sent you to pray for them, who have sent you to pray for them, who in the beginning were in heaven. Say this, in heaven have you been. The secret things, however, have not been manifested to you. See, they don't know the resurrection power. They don't realize that we have become the sons of Elohim. They have no idea. All they know is that a Messiah is coming, and when that Messiah comes, it's the end of them. That's why that lunatic, when Yeshua came across that sea, who came and said, and Yeshua said unto him, we asked him, what do you want? And he asked them, who were they? They say, we are legions because there are many of us. Why have you come to torment us before the time? You follow me? So they know they're on the clock. And they don't know if it's going to be one Messiah or 30 million of us. They have no idea. And so they're doing their best to slaughter our babies, incarcerate our men, shoot our men down. I say they. Who am I talking about? The children of the watchers. That's what I'm talking about. Their children doing the works of their fathers, the devil, are the fallen ones who left their first estate, who women bore children unto, whose flesh died, but their spirits stayed alive and they inhabited other bodies. And in many cases, transforming, transgendering. That's why that is wickedness. Beyond belief. Transgender, all of those titles, those homosexual titles, all of those are an abomination against Yah because it's an abomination against creation. It goes against the very commandment that Yah gave to Adam. Be fruitful and multiply. Two men screwing each other in the rectum is not going to multiply. And two women with their mouths up each other's crotches is not going to multiply. They might get some kind of gonorrhea or tonsillitis or something, who knows. But you ain't making no babies from that. You're not multiplying from it. So it's a direct conflict. It's blasphemy. It's an act of treachery and blasphemy. And you should never condone it or encourage it or support it or be a part of anybody or associating. I'm talking about interaction in a social environment with anyone who practices such abomination. Because that could either be perceived as encouraging the behavior. Let's continue on. And you have related to women in the hardness of your heart. And by that mystery have women and mankind multiplied evils upon the earth. You want to know why all this wickedness is there? Because of those watchers and what they taught. Up they were down in those caves. Or maybe I should say up in them caves. And they down in those caves now. Underground. Those underground, what do they call it? Deep underground military bases. You know what they're down there doing? They're teaching Esau, Edom, Gog, and Magog. They're teaching them how to the final weapons of destruction to destroy our people. Why you think they're pushing, this program to cause you to roll up your sleeve or pull down your pants and get that stinging sensation? Or disguise yourself, so to speak. Why? They're teaching them those things down there. They're bringing these things up here, and they're using that to target and destroy the children of Yah. Whatever in those things, whatever it might do for Esau, Edom, Gog, Magog, and the rest of them devils, I can assure you what can be good for them can be detrimental to us, my brothers and my sisters. Don't ever forget that. There are things they can eat that does nothing to their bodies. You eat that same stuff, you're going to end up with diabetes, high blood pressure, kidney disease, and every other kind of disease. They've been the ones who brought these diseases. When they came to our country from Europe and Asia and everywhere else they were coming from, they brought diseases and plagues, things that we had never knew. Because our people were here serving Yah and keeping the commandments. And them devils came right here with their diseases. And they're still coming up with these diseases. And then blaming us as the carriers of it. That's a lie from the pits of, oh yes, hell in the earth, where they are locked up, but still communicating to their children through the spirits of those giants and those fallen ones who taught evil, as you just heard me say, who brought evil and still bring evil upon this earth. And he says to them, never therefore shall you obtain peace. He said he's going to keep them fighting or keep them. You know why they're so greedy? When you think about it, my brothers and sisters, you know how they never can get enough? Because they have no peace. See, it's a judgment against them. They get a big house, they want a bigger house. They get one car, they want two cars. Think about it. They get one business, they want 20 business. They get 20, they want 100 of them. They can never, dumb, greedy dogs who can never have enough. That's what our Uncle Ezekiel said about them. He called them a bunch of dumb, greedy dogs. Them and their false prophets who work for them, who happen to look like some of us. I'm talking about T.D. Uncle Ruckus Jakes, Creflo, the Pimp Dollar, Kenneth the Snake Copeland, and the rest of that group. I'm not going to waste any time calling out names of demons. Verse 17, chapter 17. And they raised me up, in a certain place, where they, the angels, were like the appearance of burning fire. And when they pleased, they assembled the likeness of men. Whenever they wanted, they assumed, the likeness of men. When they wanted to. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? And I can show you guys, if you're anywhere where you're around hundreds of people every day, thousands of people throughout the week, you are seeing angels. And let's get out of this Catholicism lie and foolishness that angels somehow or another are all these great beings. Angels can be wicked. You see that these are fallen angels. These are the ones who left. They can be wicked, raping and molesting. You know what I'm saying? Coming on, with all these evils. Don't think somebody say you see an angel that all of a sudden is something pleasant. See, that is a lie that many of us were taught as kids. All the angels are white and friendly and loving, and they come to your rescue. No, they got some angels that are wicked, lacking melanin, pinkish, vicious, mass murderers, enslavers, rapists, child trafficking, child molesting, abominable acting demons that they are. So when it talks about angels, guys, you're seeing a lot of them walking amongst you. You need to be careful. And again, women, especially you. That's why I say you better get your covering, sisters. I ain't going to say you better do. You do whatever you want to do. But you need to get you a covering, sisters. You need to get you a covering. You need to get a man of Yah who can speak to you, talk to you, explain things, and teach things to you. That is the system of Yah. That is the process of Yah. That's the way Yah has structured that relationship between you and him. He put a male in between you guys. And in childbearing, he said you bring forth your own salvation. In other words, being a mother. If Yah so called you to be. And if not, being a mother to others who need mothers. It's your natural, beautiful instinct. And when you're in your right mind. Judah, Israel. And I beheld the receptacle of light and thunder at the extremities of the place, and where it was the deepest. There was a bow of fire and arrows in their quiver, a sword of fire, and every species of lightning. Then they elevated me to a babbling stream, and to a fire in the west, which receives all the settings of the sun. Interesting, all the settings of the sun. If the sun is a stationary object somewhere in outer space, what do I think, 1 million miles, 100 million miles away from us, what setting is he talking about here then? What setting? How does it set if it never moves? Remember, we were told that the earth rotates, remember? On an axle, right? It's a globe, right? Isn't that what we've been taught? Isn't that what we're told? Not sure if all of us believe that. I most certainly don't. But that's a conversation for another day. Then they elevated me to a babbling stream and a fire in the west, which received all the settings of the sun. And I came to a river of fire which flowed like water and emptied itself into the great sea westwards. And I saw every large river until I arrived at the great darkness. And I went where all the flesh migrate. And I beheld the mountains of gloom which constitutes winter, and the place for which the issues of the water in every abyss. And I saw the mouth of all the rivers in the world, and the mouths of the deep, that's the oceans. And I then surveyed the receptacles of all the winds, perceiving that they contributed to adorn the whole creation, and to guard the foundation of the earth. And I surveyed the stone which supports the corners of the earth. Let me say that again, my brothers. I also beheld four winds, which bear up the earth and the expanse of the heaven. And I beheld the winds occupying the exalted sky, arising in the midst of heaven and earth and constituting the pillars of heaven. And I saw winds which turned the sky. Huh? What? Did you hear what I just read here? Can we do this one more time? Okay, bear with me. And I said, okay. And I surveyed the stone which supports the corners of the earth. What is a corner? These are corners. See? This is a triangle. This is a corner, that's a corner, and that's a corner. Oh, and last I checked, a ball doesn't have corners. Well, let's see something here. Why not? Okay. Praise Yah. These are corners, right? Right? Corners, right? Kind of hate this pyramid thing, so get rid of that. I know that. We're not doing that here. Not right now. So these are corners, all right? Edges. Can you show me the corner on this? Where's the corner? Anybody see a corner? Am I missing something? Where's the corner? What is Enoch talking about? What did Enoch see? Let's see. And he says, I surveyed the stone which supports the corners of the earth. I also beheld the four winds which bear up the earth, and the expanse of heaven. And I beheld the winds occupying the exalted sky, arising in the midst of heaven and earth, and constituting the pillars of heaven. I saw winds which turned the sky. This is turning the sky. I thought the earth was spinning. Now Enoch said it's the sky that's spinning. Enoch says it's the sky. Maybe that's why they didn't want you in this book. Maybe the earlier ancestors who were talking about the earth was... It's just interesting. For thousands of years, everyone knew the earth was flat, was on plains, not necessarily flat, but on plains with walls that separates. And then over the last 100, 150 years, it got round. Of course, they're going to tell you because of science and technology, which mostly are lies, but I regress. Guys, I'm going to give you 2 more verses, and we're going to cut this short because I've already run long. All right, and I hope my video don't get cut off. If it does, I'll be back next Saturday to finish up Enoch. We'll have other videos during the week, but we'll get back in Enoch next Saturday. And I saw the path of and I saw the winds which turned the sky, which caused the orb of the sun and of all the stars to set. The sun is setting because it's spinning according to Enoch. I'll read it to you again. Chapter 18, verse 6. I saw the winds which turn the sky, which causes the orbit of the sun and all the stars to set, and over the earth. I saw the winds which supports the clouds. I saw the path of angels. And I perceived that the extremities of the earth, the expanse of heaven above it. Above it. Then I passed towards the south, where burnt both by day and night 6 mountains formed of the glorious stones, 3 towards the east, 3 towards the south. Those which were towards the east were variegated stone, one of which was margranite, and another antimony. Those towards the south were red stone. The middle one reached the heavens like the throne of Elohim. How can a mountain reach the heavens on a round earth? How can a mountain reach the heavens on a round earth? Some of you need to sort through for yourself and get out of your line education so y'all can free your mind and open you up for enlightenment. Maybe you were lied to. Maybe all of us were lied to. Maybe not. But how do you know? If you didn't do your research, you're still going off of your programming, your social engineered programming in your, Rockefeller education system that was put together to enslave your mind, to keep you as worker ants or serfs into serfdom. into continual poverty, paycheck to paycheck, bill to bill, never having release. That's what you're banking all of your knowledge on when you're challenging this without going and doing your own research. I'm talking about what the book is saying versus what you were taught. I'm going to stop right there, brother. I think I'm giving you enough to think about. All right, I think I'm giving you enough. I'm going to end right here, brothers. Okay, sisters. Remember what we talked about here tonight, guys. Ladies, get your covering. Ladies, look, understand that you are a target and that there are demons in human bodies. Some of them may be looking at you and trying to get not only in your home, but get intimately close to you. Some may already be there. You need to be careful. You need to be extremely careful. Because if it's a demon seed and he impregnate you, you're going to end up with a demon child. Heaven knows that's the kind of misery. Remember, say like the woman mourning for the only son that she had that died. You don't want to be her. And it can all start with you making the wrong decision about him. If he don't love you, if he doesn't love Yah and he's not in the word, you can't validate it, then you got the wrong one. There's a whole lot of that. I think there's a football game on there, all kind of things. I enjoy. I'm a Saints fan, as you can see, and I enjoy. But I doesn't supersede the word. That's entertainment. This is life. That's all I got for you, brothers and sisters. Talk to you in the next video. See you next Saturday. We'll pick up chapter 18 and go forward. All right, brothers. Thank you, guys. Bye now.